Yo, what's going on, guys? So we just got new information on newer Yu-Gi-Oh cards, specifically the heroic challengers getting some newer support. There might be other support for warriors. Now, some of you guys might be like, what the heck are heroic challengers? These are the cards that basically came down to Thousand Blades being the only card that people generally really use. But nonetheless, they're getting more support in Dimension 4, so let's go ahead and check them out. If you guys are excited about new Yu-Gi-Oh cards, drop a like on this, but let's get started. So first off, we have Heroic Challenger Knuckle Knife. Here is the artwork on this card. It's going to be a level 1 Earth with 600 attack and 200 defense points, and its effect reads, you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. The first part of the effect is if you control a heroic monster except for a level 1 monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Okay. The second part of the effect is if this card is normal or special summon, you get to target one warrior monster, you control the level of that monster, or this card becomes the level of the other, but you cannot declare an attacks for the rest of the turn except for with exceeds monsters. This is actually a pretty big downside, because at that point, if you're just interested in running just any variant of like Warrior is Soul, which is what I thought this card would be originally thrown in, yeah, that's very unfortunate for those players. Next up, though, we have Heroic Challenger Morning Star. So it's got 1500 attack, 1300 defense points. It looks like it's a level 4 Earth Warrior monster. And it says you can only use the first, second, and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. The first part of the effect is if you control 2 or more warrior monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. The second part is if this card is normal or special summon, you get to add 1 heroic spell/trap from your deck to your hand. The third part of the effect is if this card is in your graveyard and you have 500 life points or less, you can special summon this card, but its effects are negated. Okay, this is very conditional. 500 or less, like, yeah, I don't know, unless there's some type of weird way to like get your own life points super low that it makes it actually viable just for a 1 summon. I don't know. I mean, it's just a bonus little additional effect. I feel like if this effect was just if you control a warrior monster, then you can special summon it, then people would be like, oh, okay, cool, I can just throw this in any of my warrior soul decks, which you could still kind of do. Because with the soul, after you activate the effect to like dump the equips, you could potentially get out another monster, and then you can summon this. But then you get to add 1 heroic spell trap. I'm going to actually double check on the heroic spells and traps, because I'm actually working on a warrior soul variant deck. So maybe it will actually be useful. All right, now let's check out the exceed monsters. Do they have any more support? Okay, cool. Because I was going to say, when we get to search out a card, what are we searching out? Anyways, so this is Clemo Solias over here. So here is the artwork on this card. Looks like it's going to be a rank 4 light, 2500 attack, 2000 defense points, and it does require as its materials 2 level 4 warrior monsters. And it says you can only use the second and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. The first part of the effect is monsters your opponent controls cannot target other monsters for attacks. The second part is you can pay life points so you only have 500 left. Oh, okay, that's where the other card is able to be summoned. At the start of the battle phase this turn, the attack of 1 face-up monster you control becomes doubled. Oh, that can actually be pretty good. And it's any monster too, it doesn't just say like warrior or heroic. Okay, so this could be pretty nasty actually. And it's at the start of battle phase this turn. I don't think that that's like a quick effect, right? But I don't know. Next up, though, with the third part of the effect is when an attack is declared involving an opponent's monster, you can detach 1 material from this card, then target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. This card gains attack equal to that monster's until the end of this turn. Okay, that's actually not too bad. It definitely has some uses, but again, more than likely just with general modern Yu-Gi-Oh, they're going to either negate the summon, or if it comes to their turn, they're never going to like get to the point of I'm going to attack this card, I'm just going to like blow up the board or something like that, or like absorb it, you know, whatever the case may be. Next up, though, we have Heroic Champion Jarn Gripper. All right, here is the artwork on this card. It looks like it's a rank 1, 700 attack, 1800 defense points, and it's going to be a wait, what? I swear this is an Earth icon. It says rank 1 light, but I'm pretty sure this is Earth, whatever. Its materials are 2 level 1 warrior monsters, and it says you can only use the second and third effects of this card's name each once per turn. The first part of the effect is the first time each warrior monster you control would be destroyed by battle or by card effect, each turn is not destroyed. That's actually a pretty decent effect. The second part of the effect is you can attach 2 materials from this card, then target 1 level/rank 4 warrior monster in your graveyard, special summon it. If you do, this card gains attack equal to that monster's original attack. Oh, that's not even until like the end of the turn, it's just permanently. Not too bad. The third part of the effect is when an attack is declared involving an opponent's monster, you can gain life points equal to half of its attack. Okay. That could be interesting. I don't know if there's some like way to continuously keep on using this effect. because this effect is not like once per duel or something like that. This is every single turn. I mean, Thousand Blades was still like the card that people really liked before, but nonetheless, it's interesting. Next up though, so let's check out the other support cards, and we still have more new Yu-Gi-Oh news that we do gotta go over as well, which we'll go over. But I do want to check out the rest of the support cards because I didn't even think that they had any heroic cards that we had searchable targets for. Anyways, normal spell card is Heroic Envoy. You can only use the first and second effects of this card to name each once per turn. The first part of the effect is to add one heroic monster from your deck to your hand. The second part is if you have 500 life points or less, you can banish this card from your graveyard, target a heroic card in your graveyard, and add it to your hand. Oh, so this researches out itself too. It doesn't even say you can't even search except for Heroic Envoy. So this is basically just like a Rhoda for the deck. Still pretty good, but I don't know what other heroic like spell and traps that we have. Do we have any other support? Okay, so we have Heroic Chance. Target a face-up heroic monster you control, double its attack, but it cannot attack your opponent directly. So you can double the attack and then double its, and this is its, well, it doesn't say current attack, it's just attack. So you can basically quadruple the attack and then one-shot your opponent. I remember doing something with this a long time ago. The other target's Heroic Advance. When a heroic monster you control is targeted for an attack, target another level 4 or lower heroic monster you control, double its attack during this battle phase. Oh, so they're all about doubling the attack. Okay. And I know that there's one of the, this is like the card that also, Rongo. I remember this card was insane too when it first came out. But next up we have the Retribution Sword. Target a face-up heroic monster you control. Equip this card to it. All battle damage you take from battles involving equipped monsters also inflicted on your opponent. After damage calculation, destroy an opponent's monster that battles the equipped monster. And then with gift, if your life points are 2,000 or less, if your opponent's life points are 2,000 or less, make their life points 8,000, and if you do, you get to draw 2 cards. I like how you can only activate one in a heroic gift. Very interesting effect. I don't think people are going to go for that. I mean, at the end of the day, the search card is pretty much the only, like, viable one in today's metagame. This card, though, however, you might be able to, like, one-shot your opponent, but, again, that'd be after they go first, and there's no really good disruptions with this deck, at least at first glance right now, but who knows, maybe they'll get more support. Curious to know what you guys think of those. Now, we're moving into other new Yu-Gi-Oh! News for new Yu-Gi-Oh! Products. So this is something that just got announced. So this is the History Archive Collection. They're going to be memorable scenes from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Series. My guess is going to be Exodia, maybe the Mammoth Graveyard, Soul Absorbing Bone Tower. I mean, I only really watched Series 1 of Yu-Gi-Oh! But just famous things from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Series, and I'm guessing OG Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, you know, Karibo with like Multiply. Think of the things that were very iconic from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Show. They're basically getting reprinted over here, but there's also going to be newer cards. So February 19th, 2022, so it's not coming out till next year, and I believe this is the OCG date because it says yen, and so we're not going to get this probably till like March at the earliest. We don't even have an announcement of it. Like, even if we're going to get this, sometimes we'll get these cards in later forms, but nonetheless, there's going to be 50 different cards. Here's the ratios. There's going to be 3 new ultras, super rares, 23 common parallel rares, and also in addition to that, the most important thing is there's going to be 24 new cards coming out in this from the TV show, and that could be pretty good. I remember like the Divine Serpent Geh, that card was really cool. I love that card. I still think it's like a pretty decent card, but like, sometimes when we had these anime cards, they were really OP broken back in the day, but in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! You have to have like negate, disruptions, and easy to be summoned in order for it to be good. But there's 24 new cards basically going to be announced, and that's all we really have for info on this, and then everything's subject to change. Next up though, I do want to go over this really quick. This is product delays, so basically release dates for some of the things coming out in the TCG, as well as maybe in the OCG, depending on if they have not been released. So basically what it comes down to is the Grand Creators was originally January 14th, now it's the 28th, so basically 2-week delay on that. Hidden Arsenal Chapter 1 is getting pushed back basically a month. So instead of January 28th, February 25th, 2022, the OTS Tournament Pack 18 delayed from the February 9th to February 23rd, so a few weeks on that. The Duel Academy box, basically another month, pushed back from February 25th to March 18th, and then the Structure Deck Alba Strike, March 11th, pushed back to April. So basically that's it for the new Yu-Gi-Oh! News. Curious to know, again, what you guys think of any of these things down below, but thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. If you're new here and do want to be up to date and so you don't miss out on more new Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff, hit subscribe, turn the bell, and you'll definitely see more ASAP. But take care, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace!